better from the beginning. We really did a good job finding shooters. Rutgers, we gave them open looks. Part of it was, Buddy stabilizes the defense as well as the offense. And it was great that he hit those first two. I didn't think he didn't shoot it well in practice the last 2 days, so I didn't expect him to shoot it that one very well, and he didn't. He got really good shots after that, but he made the two that counted. Rec did a great job passing the ball. Joe got to open spaces, and when he gets open looks, he obviously Quincy was really good early. It was our best ball movement. Boston College has been a tough team. They beat Rhode Island. They had Villanova late. They were up 15 at Minnesota. We played well on both ends of the court. Our defense was better overall. They missed some shots in the second half. The first half, we guarded them pretty good. Second half, they missed some shots. But it was good to get everybody comfortable. I've been doing this 45 years, but everybody out there knows who should be playing here except me. So, let's just stick with the guys we know what they can do, that have already proved themselves. And if they really struggle for a long period of time, there'll be some adjustments made. But you don't make adjustments after one game, And Joe really helps Joe to have Buddy with him, covers, they don't leave him, that leaves gaps. So I think that was good to get those two guys back together. They've already proven themselves. I thought, Quincy's been really good all year. He actually tried to set up a couple things for him in the second half, and he didn't get into it. He was kind of down, stayed away a little bit from the ball. But again, he was good. I think Woody was good again off the bench. Kadari struggled in the first time, but it takes time to get used to coming off the bench. His second part was good. I'd like to address one thing here that's important. First of all, everybody knows Mike Krzyzewski's a friend of mine, but Mike said in the summer, in September and October, that we should delay the season. For some young coach who should know better but didn't, to suggest that Mike Krzyzewski doesn't want to play because he lost a couple games. Yeah, he's only won 1,100. That isn't, anybody that knows anything about college basketball knows that Mike Krzyzewski said that in the very beginning. Looking into a delay of the season, delay the tournament. I don't agree with it. I think we need to play because the vaccine's not going to be here for players and everybody until the middle of summer. I mean, we're not going to be clear. If it works, which I hope it will, we're probably not going to be clear to September, really clear. So to delay now a month or two or whatever isn't going to change anything. It's not going to be under control. And the safest place for our players is proven on campus. There's a 8-10% or 5-6% test positive rate for everybody else, everybody all around. Some places not, but most every place. And our players are testing positive at less than 1%. 700 tests, 2 positives. I don't know the percentages. I was never good at math, but I think it's probably under 1% someplace. But Mike Krzyzewski had anybody that thinks he would not play because his team lost 2 games, it really is, it's sad. I feel bad for somebody that would make a statement like that. I can understand how bloggers do that because they don't, that's what they do. People that comment, all the unknown people out there that have that voice. If I listened to that voice, I would stop coaching about when it started, 15 years, whenever that stuff started. But Mike Krzyzewski isn't saying that because he doesn't want to play or he doesn't have a good team. He said that consistently from the beginning of the year. It's sad to see somebody say something like that. Really speaks to somebody's character. That's it, my sermon for the day. I'll take questions.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Mike Waters. Jim, other than having Buddy back out there today, what was the biggest difference for Joe between Tuesday and today on both ends of the floor?
Well, he got some looks. Rutgers was right in him the whole day. We didn't do a good job on our offense, getting him some looks. Uh, that's on me and our offense. We didn't do a good job there. We did some other good things, cutting wise. And you have to remember when they're playing him that tight and they're switching and helping, that's how we got all those layups. That's how Quincy got 3 open threes. That's how, we got those backdoor layups because they're playing him that tight. And when Buddy's out there, it gives them another guy they got to play tight, which opens it up more inside for Allen, Marek, and Quincy. But, about 3 years ago, I was watching Klay Thompson early in the year. He went 0 for 32 from the 3. I think they were smart enough in San Francisco. I don't remember the Golden State. I don't know what their bloggers were blogging. They didn't take him out. And I think then that's like a day or two later is when he had the 86 points or whatever he had in the game. Shooters are going to make shots if we get them good shots. We didn't get good shots. We got to get them better shots. And some games he's not going to get them.
So I got in over.
Take him away. And when that happens, like at North Carolina last year in the tournament, he made 1 bucket, but he got 9 assists, no turnovers, and other people got opportunities. So he's just going to take what's there. I thought he did that today. And once he got going, he can shoot that long shot. If we're playing well, he's got a good rhythm. He can make that shot. If we're struggling, we haven't done anything, he hasn't got anything, then it's not a good shot. But, we'll learn. We played 5 games. We missed 28 days of practice. Buddy's missed 28 days of practice. The team missed 20. Buddy didn't make a shot the last 2 days of practice. I was really not expecting him to make a shot today. And then he makes the first 2, and you can see the whole team lift up a little bit with that. Those were big shots for us.
Next question is from Mario Sako.
Well, Coach, I hate to tell you, you're not the leading scorer anymore in Syracuse history in the Boeheim household. Buddy passed you today. Sorry about that.
I tried to hold him back. I just couldn't do it. I didn't get as many shots as he got.
Correct. What was the fatherly advice you gave him, aside from the coach over these last 2 weeks coming into a game like today?
I was worried about him. I knew he's in condition. He's in perfect condition. He worked out harder than we probably do because we took breaks, game day or complete day off. So I knew he'd be in shape. But in practice yesterday, the last 2 days, he didn't make that much. He really didn't. He struggled. I'm shocked he made the first 2. I thought he might miss a couple and then maybe get a couple, but I'm shocked that he made the first 2 and should really had 3. The last one was in and out at the end of the half. But his defense was good. Joe's defense was good, much better. When guards penetrate, some of that is on the guards, some of it's on the forward. And when guys are shooting open shots in the corner, it's more on the forward usually. Everybody blames the guard, but it's more on the forward. Our defense isn't one man is blamed. When we do something defensively, we're cheating different areas with the zone, we're protecting different areas. They may get the ball and score on Marek inside, but he's probably done his job, but there's certain things he can't do. And by the way, people will score. People are going to score points. Our offense wasn't good enough at Rutgers. We did some really good things there, but it just wasn't good. Our shooting wasn't good enough. Looking at the tape of the Rutgers game, we had 5 open threes, wide open threes that we missed in the second half. Nobody near anybody. And, we need to make those, and Rutgers is a good team.
Next question is from Donna Datota.
I was going to ask you about Buddy, but it seems like you've covered it. So let me ask you about Woody Newton. What have you liked about the way Woody has played?
Everything. He just goes out and plays. He's not afraid. He gets a shot. He makes it. I mean, that's hard to do. And he's not a great shooter. It's not like he's a great shooter anyway. He's okay, but he's active. He runs. He moves without the ball. He's a smart player. He picks up things quickly. Picks up things really quickly. I like everything about what he's done.
Thank you.
Next question will be from Matt Hausworth.
Hey, Jim, in these two games, Ryder and then today, I mean, you guys were just absolutely hitting everything you put up. I mean, when this team plays like this, although you played pretty well the whole season, but those two games specifically, what do you feel like this team could really do? And do you feel like you're just scratching the surface?
We'll see. I have no idea. We'll see. When you make shots, the game's easy. Ryder almost beat St. John's. They should have. They could have. They were leading the whole second half. They had leads. And St. John's is pretty good. And, we just blew them out because we made shots. We're not going to always make shots, but we recruit guys that can shoot. So, we hope that they will. We hope that they can shoot and will shoot. I think we're capable of having big shooting nights.
Our next question is from Anthony DeBundo.
Hey, Jim, what's the balance between shot selection for Joe and kind of letting him go and do his own thing in terms of, when he's hot or not?
When he gets good shots, he can shoot them. That's it. But, in the second half, he made 2 or 3 really good plays right away, 2 or 3 real good passes right away. Buddy and him combined, they worked well together, obviously. They were good together. They played together a lot. They played together summer times with the City Rocks, and now they've got a couple years here under their belt. So they play well together. But Joe is going to, like I said, he might get some shots some games. He might get not, but he just got to be a good point guard when he doesn't get the shots and get the ball to people, make plays. He's learning. He's learning the game. He's a sophomore. He's learning how to play.
Our next question is from Matthew Gutierrez.
Hey, Jim, how's it going? Thank you for your time. Just a question on Brahma. I was wondering how's he's doing right now, how he's recovering.
He feels good. They always do, but who knows? We'll see. He looks good. He feels good. He's doing a lot of stuff already, but there's no sense even talking about it. He's not going to be back for a while.
We have 2 more questions. The first one is from Dan Tortora.
Coach, you've been able to play your games this season, but knowing what's happened with Gonzaga and what could happen with Corona, and you could do everything right, but your opponent might have to cancel or postpone, just how you're handling that as a coach and trying to navigate through a stranger.
We knew that could happen. They didn't cancel. We're trying to get another game for next week. If we can, to get up to our limit, and you reschedule. But I think somebody said about 80% of the games have been played, 80-some%, and that's good. There's going to be stops and starts, but if you stop now, when are you going to start? You really stop now, you might as well not play, because you can't. This vaccine, it's not going to be clear until summer. You can't wait till summer to be perfectly clear. I think we're working our way through it. I think kids are being smart. Everybody's off campus now, everywhere. So I think we got a window here of some time. But even when kids were on campus, we did not have a positive test when the students were on campus on our team, not one. When they went home, we got 2 players tested positive. And again, one of them was in town, and that was just one of those things. That's why kids really can't go home for Christmas, I don't think. Now you're open. If they go home, they're going to go to families. There's going to be people around. There's going to be all kinds of things. And if then they have to quarantine there and they have quarantine come back, I just don't think. We have 5 or 6 kids that never go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Their mental health is fine. But Marek and, John, Frank, Jesse, they don't go home. They're with us year round. And, we have to help them through it, keep us together. The NCAA has made some good moves. They've allowed us to have meetings with the players during the Christmas break. They can actually come in if they want and lift and run, which is important because we're way behind. And we can, have them to our house and do things safely. But, that's what we can do. But I just don't see an alternative way out of this. I mean, everybody's had some issues, football, baseball. I mean, they all travel. We're going private. So we came in here. We went right to the hotel. We don't go out. We don't leave the hotel. We eat spaced out. We come right here to the game. We eat here in the locker room. We go right to the charter and come back. So we're in a pretty safe environment. And that's what we've proven with the testing. We're under 0.1%, and the city of Syracuse is between 5 and 8%. So if you put kids out, if they were out in the community like you guys all are, they got a better chance to get it out there than they got where we've got. And and if you send them home, when do you bring them back? And 2 months, it'd have to be at least 2 months. I mean, if not more, maybe longer. I don't, then you got to learn how to do it all over again. I think we've got to do what we're doing. I think it's the right thing, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what. There's so many different things. Inside dining is 1.4% of the problem, and yet they're closing all inside dining. I'm glad I don't own a restaurant. I don't know how that makes sense. People, from everything I've seen and the percentages show, people just go out when they're home. They go out in groups. They go out with friends. 10, 12 people at a party. That's where this happens. Families come in and you can't blame them, but they come in from someplace and they, I have one sister. She comes every year at Christmas. She's not coming this year. It's what we got to do. But hopefully we can get through this. That's all we can do. And everybody says it's about the NCAA tournament. No, it's just about playing. If there was no tournament, I would want to play these games for these guys. If there was no tournament, I still want to play. They want to play. Has one player in college basketball said they don't want to play? One player. I mean, some football players opted out because that's pro career thing, which that's another story. But they want to play, and that's where we are. I think we'll see what happens. People make all kinds of crazy decisions. We got people that are supposed to be running the country that are thinking we didn't have a fair election, which is it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And any Republican, I'm kind of Republican in the middle someplace. All these, I would do everything I could. If I had PAC money, billions, I'd try to get every one of the Republicans that are backing this nonsense. I'd try to get every one of them got thrown out of office. This is just nonsense. I cannot believe at the highest level of our government, we've got people doing this. Joe Biden got 80 million votes. Everybody said, well, Trump got 70. Well, that's good. We lost the game 82 to 81 once. I'm not going to the referees and say, you missed this call. I got it right here on tape. So we won. You missed these 2 calls, we would have won the game. Is that how we're going in this country? And everybody says, well, Trump has 70 million fans. That's not true. He's got a few, 10 million, whatever, but the other 60 million voted because they don't like Democrats. They're Republicans. They voted for, I can't believe I watched these shows and they said, well, Donald Trump, they like him. He got 70 million votes. No. About 60 million Republicans will never vote for a Democrat. You can have Attila the Hun. You can have anybody running. If he's a Republican, they're going to pull the Republican line, period. That's what they're going to do. This election's over. It's been over. Let's try to get moving here. Can't get a relief package put out, but we can file lawsuits against the election. Makes no sense. Makes no
Our
sense.
final question is from Danny Emmerman.
Hey, Jim. This is a little bit different than that last question. But after the Rider game, you were asked if you think that this team is one of the best shooting teams that you've ever had. And I think your answer was something along the lines of, it's too early to tell. You've had a lot of really good shooting teams. Does today's performance change that?
This is one game. You can ask me this question in 10 games and I'll have the same answer, or 15 games. Let's see. Let's see. We know we got guys who can shoot, but let's see how they do, how we shoot it. I didn't even look at the stat sheet. What did we shoot from the three today? Not even
52%.
Yeah, we got a lot of open looks. That's not going to happen all the time, but we'll take it when it happens. But we've got guys that can shoot, but, we'll see. Everybody out there is trying to get the answers before we even get the questions. We play games. We got an eternity ahead of us to play these games. Let's wait and see how they go. And for anybody's information, I do have trouble breathing with a mask. I have bad nasal passages, my guy told me. So when I'm on the court, I pull it down to make myself heard, and I'm 20 feet away from anybody. If I'm sitting in my chair, I'm 10 feet away from anybody. And then when you go in the huddle, you got to take it down to talk to them. I can't talk through the mask. They don't hear me. So the rest of the time I try to keep it up, trying to keep it there, but it's not that. It's been hard for me. It's a hard adjustment, but I'm doing the best I can with it.